Hi everyone, welcome back to Microsoft Excel Basics. This is the second module, first lesson. All right, so today we're going to learn about adjusting the column, rows, and cells. So what are columns? As mentioned before, columns are the vertical lines. All right, I mean vertical, well, columns. Okay, and rows are the horizontal ones. Okay, and cells again are the uh, individual location, I would say. All right, so as you can see here, this particular workbook is very messy. All right, so we in order to make this much neater, we will need to adjust the columns and the rows accordingly. So one of the things we can do, okay, we can select column D. Okay, we can remove this. So there's a few ways to remove this column. One is by clicking the top, by selecting the whole column. I right click and then I can select delete. All right. There is also an alternative way. You can go to the home tab, the cells group, and you click delete sheet columns. Okay, so there's two ways of doing so. All right, and then we will need to make the four columns of data wider. All right, because you see we cannot see some of the information. So how do we make it wider? There's a few ways. All right. For example, for this one, we want to see the full phone number, phone cell. Okay, you can select the column and then hover your mouse until you see this button. You can click it and then you can manually increase the size. All right. Another way you can do so is if you at the same spot, you double click, but it will automatically adjust. But in this case, it does not adjust correctly because you see the location is still in the wrong position. So you may need to go further beyond. It is more useful. This double click is more useful when you want to narrow it down. Okay, so as you can see, if I double click it, I narrow it down, and it will be just perfect. All right. One more way you can do do an adjustment is if you right click it, you select column width. Okay, you can adjust it to a specific number. All right, and then the column will increase accordingly. So typically I would like to use this when I want to uh, adjust multiple columns at once. Okay, so not saying that we can't do so with the above by just highlighting both. It will what I call that? It will adjust both columns anyway. But sometimes for some people like me who is OCD a little bit, all right, we would like to use this one. Okay, so that we have a very nice fit of number. All right. So that one is for columns. We can do the exact same things for rows. So you see from over here, I can just delete. Alternatively, for this section, I can also delete sheet rows. All right. And maybe I don't want this empty spot. All right. So, and I want to move it up. So there's a few ways you can do it. You can actually pull it up, or you can just delete, and then this pop-up box will appear. So in this case, I will want to shift the cells up. And as you can see that all the cells move up together. All right. So notice that we also have an issue with the rows not fitting out. Okay, let's pull F a bit further. So it's this one, and because if you notice the rows are all not of the same height. Okay, so if you see, I can adjust the row height as well. Typical one is 20, and then they are all fitting nicely. All right, so this is for row height. Okay, of course there's also another way you can do it. All right, you could go to the uh you could go to the format in the cells group. Okay, format in the cells group. format here. All right, and then you can click auto fit row height, and then you will see that they will adjust according to the size of the fonts inside. All right, so this is a few ways. Now, what if you want to insert an additional row or column? Okay, it is the same way. All right, so first way, you can just click insert here, right click and then insert. Alternatively, you can go to the cells again and then you can insert sheet columns. All right, so there's a few ways to go about it. Okay, so that's it for deleting the cells, inserting the cells, resizing the cells and columns and rows. Okay, we could also rename the sheet. All right, so we from the smallest one we have the cells and then we have the columns and rows. Okay, and then all of this is inside what we call a sheet. Okay, so if you remember previously in the previous lesson, we did mention how to create sheet and so on. Okay, we could also rename this worksheet by right clicking, hold on, yeah, by right clicking, and then we will go to rename. Okay, so you can rename it as, let's say, hello or whatever that is more suitable. Alternatively, you could double click and then you can change it again as well. All right, so if we create a new one, all right, if you want to move it to another place, or if you want to move to have another of these, okay, we could also use the move or copy function, whereby we can move it to the end. So if I just click move to end, it will change position. Alternatively, I could also create a copy, so it will go before sheet 1. So it means it will go in front of sheet 1. So, and you can see that there will be a new worksheet appear. So if you notice, all right, there will be an additional number of the bracket 2 there. Okay, this is to differentiate the between the original and the newly copied one. Okay, you could also change it, bring it to a new book. All right, so in some cases where you might want to just bring a specific worksheet to a new book, to do other things. Okay, you could use this, you could change, you could use this function as well. All right, okay, yeah, that would be all. Thank you.